The San Francisco 49ers recently found themselves confronted with a series of intriguing updates, which initially left me uncertain about how to process the news. At first, I wasn't sure what to think, but as more information surfaced, it became clear that there was something worth discussing. This wasn't just another rumor or speculation. It was a potential move that seemed increasingly likely. It wasn't until a different source, in a completely unrelated context, confirmed the information that it really clicked for me. Suddenly, it felt like a conversation we needed to have, and here we are, delving into it together. If you're someone who keeps an eye on daily updates regarding the 49ers, then I highly recommend sticking around. There might be something big brewing on the horizon for this team, and as it turns out, it could shape their future in a significant way. One of the most notable suggestions revolves around the 49ers' potential pursuit of a certain player, particularly given the challenging contract negotiations he's currently facing with his current team. Now, for those who might not be following this particular storyline closely, that's understandable. Personally, I don't always keep up with every single development in the NFL, but I do try to stay informed on the major shifts. The situation in Cincinnati seems to be deteriorating, as indications from the front office suggest that the player in question should be satisfied with a salary far lower than what he's actually seeking. It's never a good sign when a player in the National Football League is advised to accept less than their asking price. It always places the player in a tough spot, and more than likely, they'll have to make some tough decisions about their future. The idea that the 49ers might target this player has been echoed by others as well. In fact, just the other day, while I was outside rearranging some new furniture for my patio, and to be honest, I'm not exactly a pro when it comes to setting up outdoor furniture. I was listening to a podcast where the 49ers were mentioned as a team that could be interested in adding high-level talent to support their star player. If the 49ers decide to go after this player, it could very well be an exciting move. However, we also have to consider the costs involved, which could be quite substantial. According to reports, it suggested that acquiring him would require parting with a first-round pick. This wouldn't be just a small move. It would require a significant investment from the 49ers. As I continue to juggle the constant distractions in my life, like my child trying to grab my attention while I'm recording this, I can't help but think about the impact this move could have. For the 49ers to make this happen, it seems that they would need to sacrifice their first-round pick in 2025. That's a heavy price to pay, and while it's definitely not out of the question, it's something to keep in mind. To truly understand the stakes here, we need to break down exactly what the 49ers would need to give up in this trade scenario. From what I've gathered, this would involve the 2025 first-round pick, and there's also a small potential for a swap of picks, which might sound more intense than I initially thought. For this reason, I want to clarify what's at play here. The 49ers would receive the 17th and 11th overall picks in addition to a third-round pick, the 75th overall, and another third-round pick at the 100th spot. While this move might seem like a lot, it's worth noting that the 49ers are not exactly in a complete rebuild mode this offseason. In fact, they've allowed several key contributors to leave the team, and now they need to find ways to replace them. This is something we can all agree on, right? The 49ers might be looking to secure a second pass rusher in the draft. Recently, the scouting department at BR made a prediction that Shamar Stewart from Texas A&M would be selected by San Francisco. With $40.3 million in cap space, they might also be considering the option of trading for Hendrickson. San Francisco has 2 third-round picks, thanks to special compensatory selections earned from the signings of Demo Ryan and Rancon. They could potentially offer both of these picks along with a significant first-round trade to Cincinnati in exchange for Hendrickson. Additionally, the 49ers have been mentioned multiple times in relation to a potential move backward in the draft. Many experts are suggesting that they should consider trading back, a decision that could give them more opportunities for talent acquisition. In this scenario, if they were to move back, they could potentially gain more picks, but the question remains whether they'd be able to secure a truly top-tier talent. It's clear that if the 49ers do decide to trade back, they're in a favorable position in terms of draft value. They currently hold the 7th overall pick in the NFL, according to PFF's draft value chart. I understand that some might question the accuracy of PFF's rankings, But for the sake of this discussion, let's take it at face value. If we consider Robert Saleh and the opportunities available for the 49ers at the 11th pick, as well as the 75th and 100th picks, that's a solid set of selections. 3 of their top 4 picks are in play. Still, I can't help but feel cautious about the amount of draft capital that would be involved in this trade. It's a delicate balance. On one hand, you've got the possibility of acquiring a truly game-changing player, but on the other, you're parting with a lot of valuable assets. If they do decide to go forward with this, it's important to note that it's a year where they have a respectable draft value. Even with the caution, it seems that the 49ers are in a position where they might be able to stomach this trade without it completely derailing their future. But then again, there's still the financial aspect to consider. The player in question is already 30 years old, and after a season that earned him All-Pro honors, he's expected to command a hefty salary, somewhere around $15 million. This is a considerable amount of money, especially for a player entering his 30s. While some might argue that it's a fair price to pay for a proven talent, there's no escaping the fact that age and financial expectations could pose challenges in the long term. From a draft capital standpoint, I could see how this deal might not be as problematic as it might initially appear. But for me, the real concern lies in the financial implications. Sure, the player had an All-Pro season, and that adds value to his case. However, his age and salary demands are factors that can't be ignored. If I were in Robert Saleh's shoes, I would trust in my coaching abilities and the scouting team that did so well last year. I'd put faith in them to evaluate whether this player would be worth a long-term investment. At the end of the day, this is a complex decision, and I'm really curious to hear what you think. Do you believe this trade makes sense for the 49ers, or would it be better for them to stand pat and focus on building through the draft? I'm excited to see your thoughts in the comment section. As the NFL draft approaches in just a few weeks, we're all going to be paying close attention to what happens next. Let's keep the discussion going. As we continue to dive deeper into this potential move for the 49ers, it's essential to acknowledge the complexity of the decision at hand. With the team having already made some tough calls this offseason, letting go of key contributors and focusing on how to replace them, any major trade or draft decision could shape the future of the franchise in a big way. What the 49ers are considering is a delicate balancing act. On the one hand, they could move up in the draft or even make a trade for a seasoned, proven player, but on the other, they could choose to stay the course, adding depth to their team in a more strategic and calculated manner. This is a fork-in-the-road moment for San Francisco, and whichever direction they choose will have significant implications, not just for this season, but for years to come. One thing that stands out about this trade rumor involving the potential acquisition of an All-Pro player is the financial commitment that comes with it. As mentioned before, the player in question is seeking around $15 million this year after an All-Pro season. Now, while his performance on the field certainly justifies such a high salary demand, the 49ers would need to consider whether they're willing to take on that kind of financial burden, especially as the player is already in his 30s. We've seen this narrative before in the NFL, where players hit their 30s and their bodies start to show the wear and tear that comes with years of high-level competition. This isn't a concern unique to this player. It's something the 49ers would have to consider with any player they acquire, especially those entering the latter stages of their careers. Another critical factor to consider is the player's role in their current team and whether he's truly expendable. From what we've seen, his current team may be looking to move him, but the reasons for that are multi-layered. It's not just about the contract negotiations, but also how his performance fits into their long-term vision. There's always the risk when acquiring a player who's a bit older and has seen a lot of mileage on the field. He might still be a top-tier talent, but will he be able to maintain that high level of performance consistently for the 49ers, especially if they're handing him a significant contract? This is a question that no one can answer with certainty. Some players defy the odds and continue to perform at an elite level well into their 30s, while others experience a decline much earlier than expected. This is the gamble that the 49ers would be taking if they decided to pursue this player. Beyond the financial side of things, there's also the matter of draft capital. The 49ers are sitting on a strong position with their current draft picks. They have a number of valuable selections at their disposal, and trading some of that away for an established player would be a risky move. However, the question must be asked, is it worth it? We know the 49ers have a talented roster, and adding a player of high caliber could push them over the edge and give them the depth they need to compete for a championship. But they would need to weigh whether it's worth giving up key draft picks in order to secure a player who, despite his impressive accolades, is on the older side and likely looking for a big payday. For the 49ers, there's also the long-term perspective to consider. In a way, they're still in a championship window, and acquiring a player of this caliber could significantly boost their chances of securing another Super Bowl. But what cost? A big contract, a major trade involving first-round picks, and a potential decline in performance due to age. These are all variables that the 49ers need to assess carefully. It's not just about this upcoming season. It's about setting themselves up for future success as well. With a talented team already in place, the 49ers have a shot at competing for a Super Bowl in the near future, but they must avoid making a move that could hinder their long-term cap flexibility or leave them with too many holes to fill in the future. Furthermore, there's also the question of fit within the team. Does this player complement the existing roster, or would his addition cause a shift in team dynamics? We've seen teams in the past bring in big-name players only for them to disrupt the locker room or fail to gel with the rest of the team. The 49ers' current roster is full of strong personalities, and adding a veteran with a massive salary could potentially cause some friction. Of course, there's always the possibility that he could fit right in and be an integral part of the team, but that's a gamble the 49ers will have to weigh before making any moves. Another potential outcome is that, rather than making a trade for an established player, the 49ers might choose to invest in younger talent through the draft. This approach could be more sustainable in the long run, as the team would avoid a major financial commitment and continue to build through the draft. With the 49ers scouting department already proving its worth in recent years, it's not outside the realm of possibility that they could find a young player in the draft who could make an immediate impact. However, the reality is that young players, especially rookies, often take time to adjust to the NFL. If the 49ers want to win now, they may feel that adding a proven veteran is the better route. Ultimately, this is a decision that will have long-lasting effects on the franchise. Whether they decide to trade draft capital for an established player or continue to build through the draft, it's clear that the 49ers are at a crossroads. They are a competitive team with championship aspirations, and the moves they make in the next few weeks could be the difference between another Super Bowl appearance and a missed opportunity. As fans, we can only speculate about the direction they'll take, but it's clear that whatever happens, the 49ers front office has a lot of work to do to ensure that this team remains a Super Bowl contender for years to come. The NFL draft is just around the corner, and with it comes a world of possibilities for the 49ers. The decisions they make now will shape the future of the team, and no matter which route they take, we'll be watching closely. As always, I'm eager to hear your thoughts on all of this. Do you think the 49ers should go all in and trade for a veteran player? Or would you rather see them stick to their draft strategy and continue building for the future? Let me know in the comments, and let's keep this conversation going as we head into the draft. There's no doubt that whatever happens, it's going to be an exciting time for 49ers fans everywhere. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to 49ers Zone and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the San Francisco 49ers. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. The NFL world is abuzz with a shocking new development. Aaron Donald, the legendary defensive tackle, might be making a surprising switch to the San Francisco 49ers. After announcing his retirement in March 2024, it seemed like fans had seen the last of Donald on the field. But now, whispers from insiders are suggesting that the 49ers could be making a push to bring the 32-year-old back into the game for one more run at glory. And with his unmatched defensive skills, the prospect has sent shockwaves through the NFL. What's fueling this speculation? A series of cryptic social media posts from Donald himself, along with growing rumors that the 49ers are in talks with the former Super Bowl champion. Could the 49ers be looking to bolster their already formidable defense with one of the most dominant players in NFL history? Donald, a 3-time Defensive Player of the Year and 10-time Pro Bowl selection, would certainly make an immediate impact on the 49ers' defensive line, a unit that already boasts talent like Nick Bosa. The timing couldn't be more intriguing. The 49ers are in a championship window, with a roster that has the potential to make a Super Bowl run in the coming seasons. Adding a player of Donald's caliber would provide them with a defensive juggernaut capable of wreaking havoc on opposing offenses. But why would a player like Donald, who seemed content in retirement, suddenly decide to return? Many believe it's a combination of his desire to chase another championship and the allure of joining a team with a defensive mentality like the 49ers. As the situation unfolds, fans are left wondering, is this all just speculation, or is a deal actually in the works? The 49ers have been known to make bold moves, and Donald's resume makes him a prime target. Yet, there are still many hurdles to clear, including negotiating a deal that could entice the star defensive tackle to lace up his cleats once more. One thing is clear. Whether this is a fleeting rumor or a reality in the making, Aaron Donald's potential move to the San Francisco 49ers is the talk of the NFL. The defense could soon have an extra edge, and fans are eagerly awaiting confirmation. Stay tuned, as the NFL offseason just got a whole lot more interesting. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the San Francisco 49ers, make sure to subscribe to 49ers Zone and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.